If you're over 60, your body is storing a type of fat right now that's literally poisoning you from the inside out. Scientists at Harvard Medical School just discovered that visceral fat, which is the deadly fat wrapped around your organs, releases over 400 different toxic chemicals into your bloodstream every single day. But here's what shocked researchers the most. People over 60 who followed a specific protocol reduced their visceral fat by up to 73% in just 30 days without extreme diets or exhausting workouts. The study followed participants aged 60 to 75, and the results were so dramatic that researchers had to double-check their measurements 3 times. This isn't the harmless fat you can pinch under your skin. Visceral fat is the silent killer hiding deep in your belly, squeezing your vital organs and triggering everything from heart disease to type 2 diabetes. Dr. Samuel Klein from Washington University found that losing just 5% of visceral fat can add 7 years to your life expectancy. The good news is that visceral fat responds faster to the right approach than any other type of body fat. Your age actually gives you an advantage here because your body becomes more responsive to certain metabolic triggers after 60. What you're about to discover isn't another fad diet or miracle supplement. These are evidence-based strategies that work with your body's natural fat-burning mechanisms. We're going to give you exact foods and steps to implement. And here's the most intriguing part. The number one most powerful step that melted visceral fat the fastest in studies has nothing to do with what you eat or how much you exercise. Yet participants who used this technique lost 42% more visceral fat than those who didn't, according to a groundbreaking study from the University of Copenhagen. Before we begin, tell us in the comments your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment, so drop your comments below. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 3, strategic protein timing for metabolic activation. Your body's relationship with protein completely changes after 60, and most people are getting it wrong in a way that actually promotes visceral fat storage. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults over 60 need 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal to trigger muscle protein synthesis, which is your body's natural process of building and maintaining muscle tissue. This matters for visceral fat because every pound of muscle burns approximately 50 calories per day just existing, while fat tissue burns only 2 calories. The study tracked participants over 60 for 6 months and found that those who consumed adequate protein at each meal lost 23% more visceral fat than those eating the same total daily protein but spreading it unevenly throughout the day. The key isn't just eating more protein overall, but hitting that threshold at every meal to repeatedly activate your metabolism. Morning protein is especially critical because your body has been fasting overnight and cortisol levels are naturally elevated, which can trigger visceral fat storage if not countered with adequate protein. The best approach is to start your day with eggs, Greek yogurt, or a quality protein powder smoothie that delivers at least 25 grams within an hour of waking. For lunch and dinner, aim for palm-sized portions of fish, chicken, lean beef, or plant-based proteins like lentils and quinoa combined with beans. The timing creates a metabolic rhythm that keeps your body in fat-burning mode throughout the day. Dr. Douglas Patton Jones from the University of Texas found that this protein timing strategy increased resting metabolic rate by 14% in adults over 60, meaning you burn more calories even while watching TV. The preparation is straightforward but requires planning your meals around protein first, then adding vegetables and healthy carbohydrates. Cook batches of chicken breast, hard-boiled eggs, or beans on Sunday to ensure you always have quick protein options available. Many people over 60 make the mistake of eating toast or cereal for breakfast, a salad for lunch, then trying to catch up with a large protein portion at dinner. But this pattern actually encourages visceral fat accumulation because your metabolism slows progressively throughout the day without adequate protein stimulation. Now, let's move to the second most powerful strategy that surprised even seasoned researchers. Number 2, temperature manipulation for brown fat activation. Your body contains 2 types of fat tissue, and understanding the difference could revolutionize how quickly you lose visceral fat after 60. White fat stores energy and makes up most of your visceral fat, while brown fat actually burns calories to generate heat. A groundbreaking study from MRI University found that people over 60 who exposed themselves to mild cold temperatures for just a couple of hours daily increased their brown fat activity by 45% and reduced visceral fat by nearly 20% in only a few weeks. The protocol is simpler than you might think and doesn't require ice baths or extreme discomfort. Researchers had participants lower their home thermostat to about 66 degrees Fahrenheit for a couple of hours each evening while wearing light clothing. This mild cold exposure triggers your brown fat to burn white fat for fuel, specifically targeting visceral fat stores first because they're more metabolically active. The science behind this is fascinating. As we age, our brown fat typically becomes less active, contributing to the accumulation of visceral fat around our organs. But the MRI study proved that cold exposure can reactivate dormant brown fat cells, even in people over 70. Another technique that showed remarkable results was ending hot showers with a short burst of cool water, not freezing, but noticeably cooler than comfortable. This simple switch activated brown fat for hours afterward. According to metabolic measurements, participants who combined the cool shower finish with the evening temperature reduction lost over 30% more visceral fat than those who used only one method. The best time for cold exposure is in the evening, when your body's natural temperature begins to drop. This synchronizes with your circadian rhythm and amplifies the fat-burning effect while you sleep. You can enhance results by drinking a glass of cold water every few hours throughout the day, which forces your body to burn extra calories as it warms the water to body temperature. Japanese researchers found this alone can burn an additional 100 calories daily. The key to success is gradual adaptation, starting with just a short period of cooler temperatures and building up over a couple of weeks as your brown fat becomes more active and efficient at burning visceral fat for fuel. Now we're getting into the truly powerful territory with our third strategy. Before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors can see it, and subscribe. We've got more powerful senior health tips coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Number 1. Time-restricted feeding with metabolic windows. The timing of when you eat might be even more important than what you eat when it comes to eliminating visceral fat after 60. According to a study from the Salk Institute, researchers found that people over 60 who restricted their eating to an 8 to 10 hour window lost nearly half again as much visceral fat as those eating the same calories spread throughout the entire day. This isn't traditional intermittent fasting. It's a strategic approach that aligns with your body's natural circadian rhythms and hormonal patterns. The study followed older adults for several weeks, and the results challenged everything we thought we knew about meal timing and aging. The sweet spot appears to be eating between mid-morning and early evening, allowing your digestive system to rest overnight for about 14 hours. During this fasting period, your body shifts from burning glucose to burning fat, specifically targeting visceral fat because it's more metabolically accessible than subcutaneous fat. Dr. Sachin Panda, who led the research, discovered that this eating pattern triggers autophagy, your body's cellular cleaning process that removes damaged fat cells around your organs. Participants didn't change what they ate or count calories, they simply compressed their normal meals into a defined time window. The key to success after 60 is starting gradually. Begin with a 12-hour eating window for the first week, then shorten it by 30 minutes each week until you reach about 10 hours. This gentle adjustment prevents a stress response that can actually increase visceral fat if you change too abruptly. During your eating window, focus on having 3 balanced, satisfying meals instead of constant snacking. This keeps insulin levels stable and prevents visceral fat accumulation. Your first meal should include protein and healthy fats to preserve muscle mass, while your last meal should be finished at least a few hours before bedtime to optimize growth hormone release during sleep. Growth hormone is especially important after 60 because it helps mobilize visceral fat for energy, and its production peaks during deep sleep, but only when insulin levels are low. Participants who followed this eating pattern showed a significant boost in growth hormone levels and a corresponding acceleration in visceral fat loss. Black coffee, tea, and water are allowed during the fasting period, and they can even enhance fat burning by slightly increasing your metabolic rate without breaking the fast. What's the biggest surprise you've noticed about your body changing after 60? Share your experiences and opinions with us in the comments below, we love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.